Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be doing my thoughts on our upcoming fall 2020 here. And we'll be looking over some couple of models. We'll also be looking at a couple of forecasts, which interestingly enough, AccuWeather just published their fall forecast today or yesterday. The time I'm making this video, so we'll be taking a look into that as well. But we're going to take a look at two models first here, and let's see how. Now we're going to be doing as a 3 month average because that's your typical fall months here: September, October, and November. And you can see here, there's not really much of any ridges and troughs. Although you can see warmer height anomalies across the northeastern United States, even reaching into the mid-Atlantic regions. You also got another area across most of the west there as well. And you also got uh, also lower height anomalies really across portions of the Northern Plains and even into the Gulf Coast states as well, and even portions of the southeastern United States as well. And now, when you have temperatures that are a little bit on higher height anomalies, typically underneath of those higher height anomalies usually means some warmer temperatures. Now, if you look into the Kinsubs model, which has been recently updated, it's pretty similar here. Not as warm across the northeastern United States, and also not as really the CFS is a little bit warm for this fall here. And there's going to be a couple other factors as well in the fall that we'll be talking about in a moment. But you can see here, got warmer height anomalies across the west, and same thing for the northeast, and also got average height anomalies here across the southeastern United States. So that's something interesting, which that might be an indication for maybe a possibility for active tropics, which it has been very active so far, and it seems like we're going to get a little bit of a break on it, which is some good news there. And we're going to take a look into the JAMSTAC model. We'll go over all these models here again. We'll take a look at the temperatures and precipitation. But one thing we do not have on the CFS and the Kansas model, if you guys hear any noise in the background, I do apologize for that. But anyways, this is the JAMSTAC model. It has multiple members here. We got 1, 2, 3 members, but that one there is not working. So really, technically, we have 3 members here. And as you can see here, I think one of the big factors for the Western United States is going to be this red blob here, which I believe that's called a PDO there. It's looking to be positive. And what this here does here is it makes ridging across the Western United States. But we can also see here there's some La Nina conditions that can happen in fall, which is looking like increasingly a little bit likely, but that can change there. It could stay neutral. But really, looking to the latest, temperatures, it seems like it's really starting to trend into a La Nina in the fall. So let's just pretend that this fall here is going to be a La Nina. And in a typical La Nina, really, most of the United States is very warm. And I mean very warm. Most of your warmer temperatures is looking to be across mostly the eastern United States. The only areas that would be cooler during a La Nina will be across the northwestern United States. Now, since we have this an area of warm waters here that can create some ridging, there's going to be some uncertainties across the northwest. So that's something we really have to keep an eye on there, and that's probably the area that's going to be most difficult to forecast for this fall. And let's go ahead and take a look into the precipitation anomalies here. And as you can see here, the only dry area I see here is around Florida region there. And really everybody else is looking to be either average or a little bit above average there. And precipitation is pretty hard to forecast there. It's the hardest thing to forecast when you do long range forecasts in general. You can see here really overall in the entire United States looking to be either average or a little bit above average with precipitation. Now let's go ahead and move on to some and precipitation for some other models here. Showing it a little bit of a different story from the Kansas model. You can see here there's a little bit of a dry area across like Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, Texas, Missouri, and even into Iowa and Illinois there. And even across the far, northwestern United States and Washington, seeing a little bit above average precipitation, which you can also notice some above average precipitation on the west coast of British Columbia there as well, and even portions of Alaska there, which is something we need to keep an eye on there. Really not in much of anything else, but another thing to notice there, you can see it does indicate the tropics can be a little bit active as well, looking from the Kansas model. Now, if we look into the CFS model here, now we're starting to see a little bit of a better pattern with the precipitation, where this really general, most of the southern United States looking to be drier, and the northern United States looking to be wetter than normal. And comparing to the other models here, this here gives us a really general pattern that this here can be more of a zonal flow type of pattern. You can also notice here again, there's a decent agreement with above average precipitation just in the western portions of British Columbia and even far northwestern Washington state as well there. So it kind of leads into my thinking, with the CFS model, it's just looking to be just more of a zonal flow type of pattern. With the Kansas model, you can't really tell at all. Although it does kind of indicate maybe perhaps a little some tropical weather may try to enter the southeastern United States, which that leads to above average precipitation and also cooler than normal conditions as well across the southeastern United States, which when you've seen those higher height anomalies, you can see it's more average there. So that could be due to some tropical activity there as well. And let's look at two temperatures here. And here's the Kansas model. Look again, generally, most of the United States look to be above normal. You can also see there that red blob there. You can tell there it's a little bit further to the west there. So if it's going to go a little bit further to the west, then the northwest may just get lucky to stay out of the warm weather for the most part. But Kansas Falls says nah on that one, which I kind of disagree with that there. You can also notice the Northeast and the Great Lakes is looking to be also above average. Another thing to notice, the temperatures looking to be more average there across the Tennessee Valley in the south, really generally the entire southeast there. Southeast states, really, in general. We're going to be more average for temperatures there, which it may be due to some of the tropics there, where you're going to have some tropics that can come in here. Also showing the Bermuda High has some high pressure here, which East Coast here may not get to see much of tropical activity and maybe more of the Gulf, but we'll see about that. Let's look into the CFS model here. Now it's going to be a little bit warmer. The CFS typically has a warm bias to it. But you can see here the Northeast, the Great Lakes looking to be above normal, and also as well as pretty much the entire western United States there as well. But you can see here kind of a little bit closer to average temperatures across the southeast and also including up into the northern plains, which is something a little bit interesting there. And let's go ahead and look into the surface area temperatures from the Jamstack here. You can see here it's average across the northwest, and it's also a little bit more average across the southeastern United States here. You can also see there's a little bit warmer across the central United States, and it's also warm across really the Great Lakes and northeastern United States. So really, in general, the models are in a pretty good agreement that it's going to be warmer kind of around the Great Lakes in the northeastern United States. And I think again with the northwest there, it's going to be a little bit questionable. I think it's really going to be depending on where this really this warm waters is going to go here, because with those warm waters there, it creates ridging there across the most in the western United States there. So that's going to be a factor there as well. And let's take a look into some forecasts here. So this is the Climate Prediction Center's outlook here. You can see here it's showing generally mostly warm across the four corner states, where it seems like most of the heat is going to stick around. That's an 80% chance of above average temperatures there. And you can also see there it's also warm across the northeastern United States there, which I think really in general the northeastern United States is looking to be warm, and also really this kind of the southwest there. And I think the area that's going to be very questionable is going to be really the northwest, the northern plains, and the kind of depending on the tropics, really the southeast there. And if we look into precipitation here, it's also above normal across the northwest United States, even extending into the portions of the northern plains, and also above normal precipitation across Florida and some portions of Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. You also have below normal precipitation anywhere from around Utah through Colorado, New Mexico, into Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas there, and some of the surrounding states um, as well there. And that's what I think the Climate Prediction Center's forecast. I do agree. It's also been made back in July 16th, and it'll get updated soon. And we'll probably see the Climate Prediction Center's forecast again in my next fall forecast there, because that's also when the Jamstack model updates is somewhere in the middle of the month there, and that's when you could expect my next uh, fall forecast. And the last but not least here, AccuWeather here, which has been released recently. You can say are generally pretty warm as well here, warm across the northeast of the Great Lakes, even warmer across almost the pretty much almost the west there, like around California, Nevada, and Oregon there. It's also dry across the four corner states to the Southern Plains. Very even warm, really in general warm about everywhere. And then you got the southeast there, tropical threat for October there. The northwest looking to be wet, and then you got Idaho, Montana, and even Wyoming, Chile. And also got thunderstorms early for the Dakotas and portions of Minnesota. What do I think about this? I think it's an alright of a forecast there. You know, I think temperatures will be kind of easy to forecast here. Really, I think there's a really good agreement. It's going to be warm across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. I think it's going to be a little bit questionable across the Southeast due to the tropics there. And generally warm around the Four Corner states and some of the adjacent states there. So I, so, so I kind of do agree with AccuWeather's forecast, and with the Climate Prediction Center's outlook there, I kind of agree there as well. So in my thoughts here, I think fall in general is going to be pretty warm. I think the areas that have a better chance of seeing below normal temperatures will be more kind of across like the Dakotas, Montana, even Idaho there as well, and maybe even Washington, or maybe even Oregon as well. Maybe for some of those areas. And if the tropics are going to be active, then it'll be cooler and wetter across the southeastern United States, because that's how typically it is. If it's not going to be that active, then it's going to be more warm and also a little bit more dry as well. But whenever the Jamstack updates, which it updated back July 17th there, which it updates once a month, so it may be around the 17th of August. That's when you can expect my second fall 2020 forecast. But anyways, guys, this is all I got for you guys today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my fall thoughts video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.